So I'd like to welcome on stage Abhishek Kumar from Amsara, Trevor Warren from HireWire, and Kevin Drolet from SorbiForce. Great. So maybe we can get started with some introductions. So maybe you guys can give a quick 30-second elevator pitch of your companies. Yep. Start with you, Trevor.
Trevor Warren, founder and CEO of HireWire. Our mission is to maximize the useful life of energy storage systems. We do that by transforming lithium batteries from EVs, forklifts, and similar applications into something useful once they've reached the end of their first life. And we do that by analyzing these batteries and rebuilding where we need and putting them with renewables, right? Typically solar and wind are a big one. And then on top of that, we're actually developing technologies that will continue to further maximize the useful life of lithium-ion batteries.
Yep. Hi, I'm Abhishek, Head of Business Development and Commercial at Amsara. Amsara is a Tucson-based 30-member startup, Series A startup. We develop and manufacture solid materials for next generation battery storage. So for solid state batteries, we manufacture the materials. We have two kinds of materials. One are the baseline versions, which we sell to more than 200 partners, and therefore we have a constant stream of revenues. And the other set is the advanced materials, which we deliver to on a one-on-one partnership with automotive and battery makers. As of me, I have 15 years of experience in climate tech across US, Japan, Singapore, and India. And most of my experience has been in Asia, building large infrastructure, utility-scale solar farms to EV factories, to battery cell manufacturing plants. So I'm here at Amsara trying to scale the technology within a defined time frame.
Great. Kevin?
SorbiForce. SorbiForce is a battery that's going to change the way that we think about energy storage. It does not require metals. We are not going to mine our way out of this problem. It does not have supply chain issues when we have the next COVID outbreak. We can produce the battery here in Arizona with recycled materials, agricultural waste, recycled plastics. We have an example of the battery right over here at our table. You can come and check it out. I'm inspired by the vision of Serhiy Kaminsky, who's our founder CEO, it's not just a battery, but we're changing our relationship with the planet, and that's what we need to do. So Kevin Drolet, CMO of SorbiForce.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I was actually going to ask you about the sustainability and circularity aspects of your battery, which you touched upon. Maybe you can share a little bit more about some of the ways that makes your battery unique compared to the other battery chemistries out there, and how it's safer and more sustainable as well.
Yeah, so I think for a deep dive into the chemistry of the battery, I'll allow folks to talk to Serhiy, who's here. But what I will say is that the battery is made from carbon, water, and salt. It uses an ultra-porous material. And so, lithium has thermal runaway. It has problems. I mean, everybody's read about or, seen fires that happen from lithium batteries. Sodium is also explosive. These are the technologies that are here. In New York City and other cities, you can't put lithium batteries in some places because of the fire risk. There's laws against it, right? So this battery greatly reduces, if not eliminates, the fire risk that exists because it's a water-based solvent for the electrolyte. So it's an amazing technology in that sense. And then sustainability, I mean, look, we can produce the battery from agricultural waste. I mean, we don't need to destroy the earth with mining to produce this battery. We can take what already exists and recycle it, and at the end of the life of the battery, we don't have more toxic waste. We can just recycle the battery nearly to 100%.
Great. Thank you. And moving on to Amsara, Abhishek, earlier this year, your company was able to achieve a fast charging milestone with your technology, going from 0 to 80% state of charge in under 15 minutes. So can you talk to us about how your technology works and how you're able to achieve this milestone?
Yeah, maybe I can give a context. So the reason why we do what we do. So we are replacing the liquid in your lithium battery, which is in your iPhone or EVs, with a solid version. So we develop and manufacture solid materials. The vision is basically to build the future of energy storage. And the vision is due to the fact that America and the Western world can't do what China has already done. Lithium industry, 99% of materials are mined, processed in Asia. We are unable to do that. And for those who are in climate tech, have already known this for a long time. Part of the reason is also because we are always playing a catch-up game. We are 10 years behind China, even in industrial innovation, not just in manufacturing. And we try to reinvent things, and somehow we can't get to that scale. So the idea is to build a future of energy storage and not reinvent the past. Solid-state batteries are the future. And of course, the concepts that our friend has discussed. We have to build the technology at scale within a defined time frame. You can't spend 20 years and then Asian countries lower down the cost and disrupt the industry in the United States. So while building the future of energy storage, particularly solid-state batteries, we optimize the materials that we develop and manufacture at scale to a level that the conductivity of those solid materials match that of the liquid which is present in your lithium battery today. We can also have that solid material operate at much higher temperatures, Arizona temperatures, 115, 120 Fahrenheit. So this means that we can make the lithium ions inside the battery still move at a very rapid pace at an elevated temperature. So again, it's a material innovation. We are able to enhance the conductivity while making the safety, while ensuring the safety standards and other standard battery practices are honored. So it's a material innovation which enables the battery to fast charge, in addition to packing more energy per volume and longer cycle life.
Yeah, it's really interesting what you mentioned about the future of energy storage. And Trevor, I think your company is definitely working towards that vision as well. With HireWire, I think you launched a new program in June called the Renewed Collective to enable LFP battery owners to allow their batteries to have a second life. Could you share a little bit more about HireWire?
Yeah. So, what these guys are doing is really focused on the future, right? Is making batteries safer, developing different chemistries, right, for the future of energy storage. And what we do is we essentially look at what we've already got out there. So lithium batteries, as you're well aware, have essentially dominated energy storage, mainly through EVs, but also through stationary, as well as material handlers, golf carts, neighborhood electric vehicles, all of that. So we introduced the Renew Collective a few months ago. And the reason for that is, if you look at lithium ion and especially lithium iron phosphate batteries, it's actually LFP is lithium iron is a cost to recycle. So the benefits of LFP are that it is much, we call it the safe battery, or the safe lithium battery. So it's much safer than a cobalt-based lithium battery. It's also much less expensive, doesn't have cobalt in there. However, when you are finished with that first life and you send it to the recycler, your lifecycles, your SorbiForce, Redwood Materials, whomever, they're going to charge you for that battery. It's typically upwards of about $1 a pound. So you can do the math. A typical forklift battery might weigh 1,000 pounds. So that's roughly $1,000 that you would be paying for that. So we started working with a few OEMs and distributors of these LFP packs. And what we did was we offer them a way to take those batteries that are essentially liabilities on the books, send them to HireWire. We're able to analyze those batteries. We separate out the good stuff from the bad. All of the bad gets properly recycled with one of those companies that I mentioned before, and then the good are built into stationary energy storage. And when we sell those batteries in a Second Life application, we're able to then turn around and actually get cash back into the hands of those First Life owners. So essentially transforming what is a liability back into a profit center for those companies.
Thank you. And this is a question to all of you, and maybe start with you first, Trevor. Given some of the kind of capital expenditures and investments involved in your solutions, what kind of funding sources have you explored to support the financing and scaling of your technology?
Yeah, so we've been fortunate. We did a pre-seed round, just friends and family. Didn't raise a crazy amount, a couple $100,000. Helped us kind of get off the ground floor. In addition, we also have been awarded nearly $1.5 million in SBIR grants, Small Business Innovation Research grants, through the Department of Energy. We partnered with ASU for both of those, as a matter of fact. We've had, all three of those. We've had 3 grants that have totaled $1.4 million. That really helped us. In this space and in what we're doing, it is so new that there really aren't many players. And it's still kind of the Wild West as well. So we're trying to kind of lead that charge and kind of put together some of those safety mechanisms and kind of work on some of the listings. But there's also kind of a lot of risk there. And so there hasn't been a lot of opportunities for investment other than those.
Abhishek?
Yeah. Amsara has raised $18 million, so $10 million are diluted. We raised Series A last year, and the $8 million come from 6 Department of Energy and ARPA-E grants, so $18 million in total. Whenever we are building any technology, a great technology by itself doesn't mean anything. It has no value. The technology has to be at scale. So when I talk about scale, manufacturing, supply chain, cost also play a very critical role. And the way we addressed this game differently is we relied on the government grants. They have been very instrumental in addressing not just the technology, but also supply chain, manufacturing, and cost aspects of the material technology that we are building. So yeah, $18 million raise so far. Half of it is coming from a bunch of grants focused on all sections of the business.
Great. And Kevin?
SorbiForce is actually currently in a crowdfunding raise, so you can go to www.republic.com/SorbiForce 2024 and take part of a growing number. We've raised over $500,000 on a crowdfunding campaign so far. The founder has also put all of his blood, sweat, and tears into the company. We've also gotten a non-dilutive non-dilutive funding from Google. But we're in our seed round, and our goal is to raise $5 million currently, which we'll be able to do a lot with, and that's where we're at right now.
Great. And then speaking of that, with as you're kind of developing these solutions, developing these technologies, what are some of the greatest challenges you've encountered, and how can the Arizona ecosystem support you? Maybe start with you, Kevin.
Yeah, first, big shout out to Plug and Play and the Arizona Commerce Authority. You've been instrumental in helping us to meet lots of people, and just give a special shout out to Melissa Lamson. She's been awesome at helping introduce us to people. The hardest part is raising money. It's a chicken and egg problem. It's we've reached out to 10,000 VCs. We've gotten response from 340 that say, great, are you commercialized? Like, when are you selling the product? It's like, well, if you give us $5 million, we'll make the product to sell. And in our outreach in general, we've gotten tons of people say, oh, your price is lower than lithium-ion batteries. Like, give us, we'll take a big order, right? So we know that the market is there. What we need right now is that we need partnerships, and we have some LOIs in place. We need pre-orders, and we need to meet the people that want to take a risk, and it's not a risk, it's actually a solution on the future, and invest in a battery for a circular economy, which doesn't exist right now, and put their name on the map. We think Arizona is the right place to do that.
Thanks. Abhishek?
Our biggest challenge is the challenge that every climate tech startup faces, this industry has multiple death valleys. This is not like software. You have a hockey stick, you surpass the first death valley and then sky is the limit. We have multiple death valleys. So the challenge is to execute the trustworthy plan on how you are going to jump to several death valleys. How do you scale while being sustainable? Specifically, how the technology gets implemented into the end-use applications like EVs, it has a very long lead time. So this is a challenge, and we do work with multiple industries, consumer electronics, US defense, to expedite the product development. But broadly, in climate tech, there are multiple ways to die. So I think that's the biggest challenge. How we can work together. We are in a position where our technology platform and manufacturing platform could be leveraged to ACA and all their large corporations in specifically in Arizona, Raytheon, Intel, Honeywell, and we can have a win-win situation because we need help in advancing our technology, scaling our manufacturing. At the same time, we feel that the manufacturing know-how we have, 100 trade secrets, 50 patents, and the technology platform we have built could be leveraged by semiconductor, electronic materials, and defense industries to advance their needs. So I think going forward, we'll be more closely working with the ACA and your partners.
Thanks. Trevor?
I'd say that our biggest challenge has been workforce development, having access to folks, especially those who are touching the batteries, who understand what they're doing and at least understand the basics and are not necessarily going to stab a knife in the side of a lithium battery because, as I'm sure most of you are well aware, that's really bad. We've addressed that through partnerships with a couple of different workforce development programs. A couple actually, one actually up in northern Arizona with Dene College and a nonprofit called Purpose Focused, a Navajo nonprofit. They actually train solar technicians, and we have a workforce development program with them where they're able to come down, actually get paid to work on our batteries, whether it's disassembly, analysis, assembly, installation, ops and maintenance, that sort of thing. And so it's a nice two-way street there. But in terms of fueling growth, we are essentially manufacturing. So in order to grow and scale, we need more people. So having access and finding those qualified and quality candidates is really, really big for us.
Great. In the interest of time, I think we'll probably close it there and move on to the next panel. But you can meet Abhishek, Trevor, and Kevin at their booths. Yeah, very, very interesting to learn more. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.